Bro, I swear, you look way too clean for a budget mic review today. You do? That hoodie's putting pressure on every YouTuber out there, including myself, and your gaming chair is sitting like it knows you're about to upgrade your whole sound. But hold on, don't move. Don't move, because I need you to hear this. Right now, in front of me, is not a microphone that should not cost 50-something dollars. And I know people say all the time on YouTube, oh, this feels premium. Oh, this punch is way above its price. I've said it, okay? Now, man, this thing actually breaks the rule book. I promise you. I plugged it in once and it hit me with that, oh, you thought you were done upgrading. Shame. It's a FIFINE AM8, and it's fine, apparently, okay? And the wild part, nothing about it makes sense for the price. It really doesn't. USB and XLR at the same time. Actual live monitoring. A mute button that doesn't click like you're playing Minesweeper 20,000 years ago. RGB that doesn't look like a Christmas tree. Just a clean ring that sits there like it knows it's classy, okay? And the moment you touch it, the moment you play with the button, it doesn't give you budget mic vibes. It gives you, why does this feel like it should be locked behind a $150 paywall? But here's the part that got me, and you're going to feel this too. The AM8 doesn't act like a mic in its price range. Not in the hand, not in the sound, not in the way it behaves when you get up close. It's like, fine, woke up, chose violence, and said, let's make everything else look overpriced. And honestly, I wish I was exaggerating. I've reviewed mics that cost double, triple this. And the AM8 walks in like the new kid at school that somehow wins class president on day one. Who reads this? And that's why we need to talk about it today. Because the things this mic does, right? And the one thing it tries to hide from you, you'll hear the moment we run the first sound test. I promise you. Your ears are going to sit up straight like, wait, how much was that again? And where do I get it? Well, easy. Before we get into unboxing this bad boy, right? I kind of like ran ahead. But I want to look at your own setup for a second. Is that headset that's been through a few late night sessions, that controller with the slightly sweaty thumbsticks, is that okay? If what you're hearing right now ever sounded fine, this little block in front of me is about to make your whole setup sound finished. But there's one catch with this mic that nobody tells you until it's too late. And that is exactly where things get interesting. You ready? Let's open the box and see what FIFINE actually cooked. Okay, so before we even pop this thing open, oops. Sorry, producer. I need you to prepare yourself, okay? Because you know when you order a budget mic, you expect that lightweight, hollow plastic feeling. I didn't open it. The kind where you pick it up and immediately go, yep, that's why it was cheap. Yeah, this box is already lying to you, okay? No, this is from other place. I lift the lead, and then the AM8 is just sitting there like it owns its place. I did peek. Meanwhile, you're watching this thinking, please don't let it feel flimsy. Please don't let it be that Amazon special disaster. Relax. This thing pulls up like it's been lifting weights behind the scenes, okay? Even before touching it, you can tell it doesn't scream entry level. It whispers, I dare you to compare me. And here's the funny part. We didn't even get the full retail package. FIFINE sent us only the mic, no boom arm. No extra accessories, nothing to hide behind, and honestly, kind of love that, okay? Because now you get to see the raw truth. No distractions, no, oh, look at all these extras. Just the mic standing there like, judge me properly. Huh? This feels great. See the weight? It's not heavy. It's really not heavy like a gym plate, but heavy enough that your brain goes, wait. How's this not $80 at least? The shell feels solid. Mesh is tight. Foam is already mounted like it knows you're going to test positives in about 5 minutes. And the yoke mount, clean movement, smooth rotation, none of that squeaky hinge nonsense, right? You can And I know you, I can see your fingers itching from here. You'd be rotating it one day, pretending like it's adjusting levels on a NASA panel. And honestly, you look good doing it. Okay, that new hoodie today looks amazing. Who are you, Brad Pitt? Perfect match for a mic that punches way above its league. Okay. Though, this RGB ring, it's subtle. Not trying to turn your setup into a nightclub. It just sits there like a perfect little aura you can flex if you want to. You'll see it in a second. And the capacity buttons, look, they're not physical buttons. You could, right? And people love to debate that. But the first tab feels way more premium than it has any right to. So here we are, unboxed, raw, no boom arm, no packaging hype, just this blocky, confident little mic that feels... I'm not supposed to throw it. That feels way more than it should, right? And while you're staring at it thinking, damn, this looks clean on my desk already, there's one thing you haven't seen yet. Something that completely changes the way you will use it. And that moment's the second we plug it in. All right, so now that it's out of the box and showing off like its own on my desks, let me... Oh! It's time to wake this thing up. Hello? Hello? Ah! Because that's how most people would run it on day one. And honestly, USB is where the AM8 starts flexing way harder than it should. The moment I plugged it in, that soft RGB glow kicks in. And bro, I can already picture you leaning back in that gaming chair of yours with that, okay, damn, smile, you know? Your setup just got a whole personality upgrade. I went for green because I love green, and you know, but you didn't even touch the setting. And the best part, no drivers, no software, no 14-step installation ritual. You plug it in, and Windows is like, yep, cool, I know this guy, and you tap it till you get your color. I start talking into it and immediately hear familiar dynamic mic punch, that clean upfront tone that doesn't wash out your voice. The AM8 doesn't hype the highs too much, doesn't drown you in the bass. It just gives you that tight, controlled sound you expect from something way more expensive. And this is raw, zero filters, zero noise suppression, straight USB. But here's a part you appreciate the most, especially with your setup, the live monitoring. Bro, the zero lag feedback is ridiculous. I'm hearing myself instantly, like the mic is answering me before my brain finishes the sentence. And that's a problem. There's two of me now. And I know you. If you had this thing plugged into your IEMs right now, you'd be adjusting your posture and sitting a bit straighter because suddenly you sound like you know exactly what you're doing. Now, USB mode is where the mic shows its personality. You tap that mute button, silent. No click, no clack, no oops, my chat heard that. It just shuts off like you're flipping a light with your mind. It just goes red. And the gain knob, smooth as a butter, right? No steps, no tugging, just that clean resistant that feels way more premium that this price bracket has any right to deliver. I haven't heard a single... But let's be honest, USB also exposes something important. When I pull back from the mic, the clarity dips. Not in a bad way, but in a way that reminds you why dynamic mics need proximity. You get closer, the voice thickens. You back off, things soften. And in a weird way, that's kind of the charm, right? It rewards you for good mic technique instead of punishing you. Typing test? Okay. Yeah. You'll hear clicks in USB mode unless you angle it properly. Distance test? You'll hear that little shift in tone when you move around your desk. Room noise? Not bad at all. Definitely cleaner than most USB mics in this price range, right? It handles itself like it wants to be taken seriously. But here's where things get interesting. Gets interesting. Ho. Because USB mode is great, but it's not the full story. Not even close. Something changes the moment. Something changes the moment we push the AM8 into XLR. And that shift, that's where the real separation begins. Okay, now this is where the AM8 starts acting like it's tired of being called a budget mic, okay? You've said it enough. Stop it now. USB mode was already impressive, but the moment I switched this thing over to XLR, it's like the mic clears its throat and says, let's get serious. Okay! You plug that XLR cable in, fire up your interface, and suddenly the AM8 stops playing around. The RGB turns off, the buttons stop responding. The mic is basically saying, forget the toys, listen to the sound. And you feel that shift immediately. Did you hear it? Even your posture changed. Your headphones hit a little tighter. Your voice drops half a tone because you can hear the difference straight away. The first thing you notice, the noise floor drops. USB had a tiny bit of that static hiss you always expect at this price, but in XLR mode, gone. Whole signal just opens up and becomes cleaner, like someone wiped fingerprints off a lens. You hear that warm low end creeping in, the mids settle, and the highs stop trying to impress you. Everything becomes intentional, balanced, grown up. And I can picture you right now, sitting there in that chair of yours, leaning in, eyebrows raised like, wait, is this the same mic? Yep, sure, same mic. Completely different attitude, okay? It's like two different personalities, like my mother-in-law. But of course, XLR comes with that one big trade-off. No mute button, no RGB, no quick gain adjustments on the mic. It's all controlled from your interface now. And honestly, it feels right. The AM8 in XLR mode behaves like a mic that expects you to know what you're doing. It strips away the gaming features and just focuses on sounding good. Really good. Now here's where things get spicy. Proximity effect, right? Way richer. Your voice suddenly gets that broadcast style thickness that USB couldn't fully deliver. The plosive control even tighter. That built-in foam finally shows off what it can do. And the clarity when you whisper, bro, it's clean. Almost too clean. Like the mic is showing off. Then you step back from it and boom. Big drop in volume, not messy, just accurate. Almost like the mic is snapping to your positioning instantly. It's fast, responsive, more control than USB mode ever could be. But here's the moment that really hit me. I stopped talking, sat back, and waited to hear all the background noise. PC fans, room, audience, hums, it's just not there. This mic might not reject noise like a $400 broadcast giant, but for something this size and this price, dude, it punches embarrassingly far above its weight. You hear it once in XLR and you already know USB mode is convenience. XLR mode is commitment. Trademark. And just when you're settling into that sound and thinking, okay, this is actually flipping good, there's one thing the AM8 tries really hard not to reveal, but we have to talk about it. Because no matter how impressive this mic is, there's a limitation that sneaks up on you. And once you notice it, you can't unhear it. And that's what I'm about to do for you in this video. You're welcome. That's where everything shifts. Now let's get into the part of the AM8 that almost feels like a plot twist. Because after all that clean audio, the premium feel, the XLR glow up, the USB convenience, me kicking its ass, there's a truth hiding under the surface, and you only really notice it after using the mic for a while, especially if you've tested other gear, and I know you have. Here's the thing most reviewers won't say out loud. The AM8 is not a perfect microphone. There, I said it, sue me. Continuing, it's a smart microphone. It gives you just enough of everything to make you feel like you stole it for the price. But it also has a few quirks that tap you on the shoulder and whisper, relax, I'm still budget, okay? First thing you eventually pick up on, it's directional behavior. It's supposed to be a tight cardioid dynamic mic, but it doesn't reject sound as aggressively as the big boys, okay? If something happens behind you, a door creak, a controller drop, a cousin sneezing in the hallway, the AM8 won't fully ignore it. It's better than condensers, no doubt, but it's not the dead zone magic you see in high-end dynamics. And when you realize that kind of you kind of smile because for $50-something, how much do you expect? It's punching way above its league already. So, you know, then you got the desk sensitivity. The mic feels solid, yes, but you tap that table, flick the keyboard tray, or accidentally bump your mouse pad, and the AM8 lets that vibration through like it's passing along a message. It's proud, but it's not immune. Okay? If your desk is basically a drum kit, and let's be honest, some of yours is, this is where a boom arm becomes mandatory. Not optional, mandatory. I am rough and tough, meaning... Another thing you'll notice over time is the clarity shift between USB and XLR. USB is convenient, clean, impressive, I would say, but it does have that faint background layer, that little hiss you don't notice until you plug it into an interface and suddenly think, oh, so that's what clean sounds like. It's not dramatic and you won't hear it mid-game, but the moment you jump into XLR, you feel like someone opened the window and let the fresh air in. And finally, the AM8's biggest secret weakness. It wants you close. I mean close. This mic is like a needy friend. Step back too far and it instantly forgets you exist. Lean in and you're a podcast host. Lean out and you're talking from the kitchen. It's not a flaw. It's just the personality of the mic. And once you understand that, the AM8 becomes ridiculously fun to use. But here's a real twist. Everything that looks like a weakness is actually telling you something important. This mic is built for efficiency, for real creators, not corporate studios. It asks you to position it well. It asks you to use a boom arm. It asks you to use commitment, just a little bit. And in return, it gives you sound quality that embarrasses microphones twice the price. It gives your voice authority, presence, character. It makes your gameplay commentary sound like you've been doing this for years. You're not buying a flawless mic. You're buying a mic that's worth way more than what it costs. And once you reach that moment, that point where you can click and understand what this can do and what it can't and what it's worth, something clicks in your head and you realize this little black block on your desk isn't here to pretend. It's here to level you up. And the funny thing is, it still has one more surprise waiting. Something that might completely decide whether the AM8 is the mic for you or it's not. Here's where everything we've seen, heard, and tested finally slaps into place. Because after spending time with the AM8, unboxing it, plugging it in, pushing it literally through USB, then XLR, then real world chaos, you start noticing a strange feeling creeping in. And you're exactly the type of creator this mic was built for. Someone who doesn't want to spend a fortune, but also refuses to sound like a potato on Discord. Someone who cares about quality, but also wants something that feels good on the desk. Someone who is actually trying to level up without breaking the bank, or your parents for that matter. The AM8 gives you the convenience of USB, the purity of XLR, the confidence of live monitoring, the style of RGB, and the warmth of a dynamic capsule. All without making you choose between features like you're customizing a budget PC. But the best part, it never pretends to be perfect. It doesn't hide its quirks. It doesn't fake its identity. It just shows up, works, sounds better than it should, and lets you be the hero of the setup. And honestly, that's why the AM8 hits so hard. It doesn't scream for attention, it earns it quietly, confidently, consistently. And now the only real question left is what you would do with it. Would you run it USB and enjoy the plug and play ease? Would you go full XLR and build out your audio kingdom? Would you angle it tight to your voice for that buttery presence? Or would you go RGB off for stealth look or blast it for the gamer glow? Because here's the truth. You've seen it all. And I want you to sit with this for a second. Your voice matters more than the mic you buy. But the right mic? The right mic makes people finally hear it. So if you've been waiting for a sign to upgrade or to start creating or to just improve your streaming audio without nuking your wallet, this might be it. And if you'd used the AM8 before or you're already thinking about grabbing it, tell me in the comments. What's the one thing you care about most in a mic? Is it warmth, clarity, background rejection, RGB? No judgments. Let's talk, because this conversation, it doesn't end here. We're just getting started.